The Sufi message is a message of spiritual liberty. And therefore, it cannot be limited to one single type of presentation. Just as the light of the sun cannot be. The Sufi message is a message of the heart, and there are as many real of the message as there are hearts reflecting the light. The heart is a religion where unity of religious ideals is followed unconditionally in search of truth, without condition. Our confidence and our trust in the Sufi message must strengthen us to stand firm in the service of humanity. And we should never let ourselves become discouraged by the lack of response which everyone experiences at some time or other in this ungrateful world.
Yes, thank you for that reminder.
As to spirituality, this state of inner awakening does not mean drifting upon clouds of illusions. It means having the feet steadily on the ground of reality and proving without any pretense, to have acquired discipline over physical and psychological impulses. That is the definition that we give to spirituality. Am I talking loud enough?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Spirituality means vanquishing one's own faults rather than judging the faults of others, whose faults are not very different to one's own faults. It also means having control over one's own feelings rather than misunderstanding the feelings of others. That is spirituality. One treasures even the smallest sign of appreciation coming from those who are dependent upon one's sympathy. That is spirituality. It is only when mastering the self that one can possibly inspire others on the path where honesty is, in spirituality, the watchword. Now, I know that there is a meditation which is called Zikar, which is very often misunderstood by many followers of different presentations. The ancient called the Zikar. There have been many variations and misinterpretations, and so I feel it's my very sacred duty to make it quite clear, as far as the Sufi movement, what the Zikr really is, and what is the, the most authentic way of practicing that meditation. Can you follow?
Yes.
Okay. The word zikr is spelled in various ways, where this special meditation is practiced in different cultures in the world, in India, in the Oriental countries, and even in Europe and in America and Canada. But it's spelled differently. The Zikr, which is done in the Sufi movement, is spelled Zikar. And any other spelling is not the one that is done. It does not correspond to the Zikr which is done in the Sufi movement. It corresponds to other variations which are known in other cultures. Besides this, there are also numerous variations of the word pattern used, and which are recited or chanted in various numbers of times in combination with different types of rotations of the torso according to, again, to the different cultures. There are numerous melodies used for this meditation, especially in the ancient Persian Sufi schools, as well as in many other Eastern Western orders, where the followers create sometimes their own melodies to accompany the words of the Zikr. Some of those melodies have an Oriental flavor, whereas others have a purely Western flavor. There are several types of zikrs. There is what we call the Jalal zikr, which is related to the need of a very positive affirmation of the words used. It's a very positive zikr, I would say a very male type of zikr. The second one is called the Jamal zikr, which is done in a very gentle way. And the third one is the Kamal zikr, which either motivates physical or psychological of this.
Hidayat, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We had a break in the communication. Maybe you could go back to your last whole statement and repeat that for us.
Go back to where?
You were talking first about the Jalal zikr, then you were talking about the Jamal zikr, and then you went on beyond that. I think you were talking maybe about Kamal zikr.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Can you go back to there? Yes, thank you.
It's called the Kamal zikr, which either motivates physical or psychological excitements. Either that, or it can motivate uplifting experiences, which in fact is the only real purpose of the Zikr meditation. Is that clear? Did that come through?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay. Now then, besides all of this, it is also to be understood that in the various cultures, the words of the zikr are pronounced in different ways. Those differences have obviously specific physical and psychological effects also. For instance, when pronouncing ill, there is a reinforcement of one's personal affirmations of the concept known as God alone exists. Personal affirmation, and which is accentuated by a specific resonance experienced at the level of the heart, of the throat chakras. When one says ill, the resonance is in the throat chakra. I repeat, this type of zikr, or pronunciation, the ill, is in fact a very personal affirmation of the concept known as God alone. In other words, I am saying God alone is. It's a very personal type of affirmation. Whereas when pronouncing El instead of Il, El Allahu, this has a very gentle voice resonance expressed at the level of the heart chakra. When one says El, it comes from the heart, it does not come from the throat. It is obviously a humble way of attuning to the heart longing rather than expressing a very personal affirmation of what one believes. I hope this has come through clearly.
It has, yes.
Okay. Hazrat Inayat Khan has repeatedly indicated in various teachings that when pronouncing the L, which is in fact the original way pronounced in the time of Rumi, one is attuning to the ancient vibrations of the universal message, which reaches far above religious, cultural, and theoretical limitations. Hazrat Inayat Khan created a special melodic theme pattern, inspired by the sacred rag Bhairavi, which is known to the Hindus as a very sacred scale, if one could put it, musical scale, as accompaniment to the words of the singing zikr, and which corresponds to the Western scale of E minor, to which a D flat has been added in both the ascending and the descending lines. Now, something very special. The gentle singing zikr of Hazrat Inayat Khan may be begun collectively or individually, whichever, and it is essential for the singing to be sustained by the accompaniment of a musical instrument in order to secure the tones, the correct tones, musical tones, to secure what one calls a constant pitch of the voices, and also sustained by a specific rhythm which is strictly kept up all through the meditation. This meditation is practiced either sitting or, sitting cross-legged if one can or wishes, or sitting normally on a chair, in which case, of course, it's important that one's back does not lean against the back of the chair, which would, of course, be a hindrance to the natural rotation of the torso. As far as the rotation movement of the torso is concerned, the starting point corresponds to the area of the heart, from where one moves gently, first to the right, and then upwards, adopting a circular line, and finally returning back to the start point where the attunement is again focused upon the heart chakra until the next repetitions are heard. Another very characteristic point of the gentle zikr is that it is done in 4 stages. And this is only done in the Sufi movement, not in any other Sufi order. It is done in 4 stages. The first stage could be understood as being a secret love song offered to the Divine Presence. I said a secret love song. That means the heart is secretly singing to the Divine Presence. The second stage awakens, of course, a longing for the unfoldment of the Divine Presence within the heart. In the third stage, that longing is replaced by the discovery that the Divine Presence, which has always been present, is there. Has always been there. And in the fourth stage, one's self-consciousness is entirely forgotten along this mystical process, which offers inner peace, where there are no expectations for imaginary magical effects. But if there is some magic at all, it is that one rises above all wants, needs, worries, and expectations. That was the end of that presentation of Zikr.